American Motion Picture is the brand new Netflix original film, animated film that is produced by Lord and Miller and is written by one of the writers of the upcoming Shang-Chi and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. The film stars Channing Tatum, Jason Mantzoukas, Olivia Munn, Bami Monahan, Andy Samberg, Simon Pegg, Judy Greer, Will Forte, and tell a story about basically a riff, a parody of the American Revolution, where George Washington teams up with Thomas Edison, Paul Revere, Sam Adams, and many other famous people to go against Benedict Arnold and King James. My name is also, the film is an hour 38 minutes and it is rated R. My name is Master. We'll go to a brand new review here in Max. We're talking America, the motion picture. Before we start with this review here of this movie, please leave a like, guys. That's the best way to support this channel. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you've seen the film, tell me is your favorite, least favorite year. Is this your favorite or least favorite animated movie from Netflix? Let me know as well. And also, if you're interested in seeing the movie, or if you're not, let me know why in the comment section down below. Also, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews like these, TV show reviews, streaming platform, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, ringing the bell, and sharing the video. Without further ado, let's get into my review of America, the motion picture. So now I had no expectations about the film. I knew really nothing about the film. I just knew Netflix had a new animated movie coming out this past week. It came out, I believe, on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I was actually pretty excited as I learned Lord and Miller produced it. And as we know also, not just the film, Lord and Miller produced some great animated movies. They directed Cloudy, A Chance of Meatballs 1 and 2. They produced Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. They produced The Mitchells versus the Machines. They're pretty much, and again, Mitchells versus Machines is my second favorite movie of the year. And also Netflix is a studio that makes great animated films. Over the Moon was nominated for the Oscars this past year. You had Klaus, which was also nominated a couple years ago. They make a lot of animated movies, and I haven't really disliked any of them so far. I've all given them a fresh review. So that also got me excited. The voice cast is really enticing. So first off, the positives. I was totally put off guard by the violence, the raunchiness, the nudity, all this type of stuff in this movie. It is a hard R for animated, and it feels like this has been the year for like violent rated R content for animated. I saw Invincible on Amazon Prime. That's my favorite show of the year. You also have MODOK on Hulu, which is a rated R Marvel show. So it's been weird seeing all these heavy, and Big Mouth has been a show for the past couple years that's gone heavy R, and this movie goes right into that formula. It's a pretty hard R, which made the film a bit off-putting at first when you're realizing George Washington saying the F-bomb every other word. And it was just funny seeing basically a parody of American history put on display here. There's a really fun twist and turns. The fact that, again, it's in the poster, as you can see in the trailer, that Thomas Edison is actually a woman in the movie, voiced by Olivia Munn. That whole twist I didn't really see coming. That was a pretty good thing about the film. But again, it really does start off with this George Washington and Abe Lincoln relationship that Benedict Arnold kind of ruins in some way, which leads Washington into wanting to start the American Revolution. And that's where he starts recruiting Sam Adams, who is voiced by Mantzoukas. Olivia Munn, as I said, is voicing Thomas Edison. Bobby Monahan is Paul Revere. There's a lot of really just fun cast members in the film. And again, Channing Tatum voicing George Washington was actually pretty perfect. He was by far, in my opinion, the best character of the entire movie. He clearly has an arc. He has a lot of stuff going on. He has his wife, Martha, who's voiced by Judy Greer. She also surprised me on how well they used her in the movie. But George Washington was made me laugh the entire time. He would try to give his big time speeches, then he would give up on the plan, then he would create a plan and give up, and all this type of stuff. His dynamic with each of the members was really funny. He was just a fun guy to watch on screen as our main character, and Channing Tatum brought that to life with his voice acting. Again, the whole voice cast is great. As I said, Judy Greer does a lot of good work as Martha Washington. She was really funny throughout the entire film. I really liked Olivia Munn as Thomas Edison, probably one of my favorite side characters of the entire film. She is all just about science, how no one gets it, but all this, she's kind of like a superhero, but she keeps saying science for everything she does. It was really funny throughout the film. The whole rest of the gang, other than probably Washington, his wife, and Edison, don't really get that much to do in the movie, but I still enjoyed the whole group as a whole. I would say I was pretty much laughing throughout most parts of the film. I was never dying laughing, which is what I'll get to in my negatives, but I was laughing enough to enjoy myself watching this movie. I really like the animation of the film. And I'm just a big fan of these type of parodies on true events. I do like it. It feels, and also the movie just feels fresh. I feel like we haven't seen a movie, an animated movie like this in a really long time. It's so refreshing to see a hard R animated movie that is parodying a true event. I mean, it's a very unique story, and I think that it was cool. It was fresh to see this on Netflix. Again, it was fun to watch. I was never bored throughout the runtime. I was never checking the clock. I was just running with the story, and I really did enjoy myself watching this movie. Let's go to my negatives. My main negative is that the movie isn't always funny, and it does have a lot of pop culture references from today. You know, it takes place back in the American Revolution. They're talking about stuff that is pop culture relevant to today, and especially the villains who are heavily Star Wars, especially King George, who is clearly a play off of Palpatine. At times it gets a bit annoying, and it's not really that funny every time they bring up pop culture references from today. I thought it would be a lot funnier, and then they kept reusing Star Wars lines with the villains, and it just became quite old with that. And as I said, just like, this is going to be a very subjective comedy movie for me. I was laughing at parts in the movie, but also there was a lot of jokes that fell flat. At times the movie relied too much on cursing to get jokes. And while cursing's great, I still think that you can't rely on most of your jokes just on the idea of cursing. And that's what the movie heavily relies on. And I know if some people hate that, and they might hate this movie because of that. As I said, the rest of the group, other than Edison and the Washingtons, don't really get that much to do. Sam Adams, who was voiced by Mantzoukas, really just a chugs beer the entire movie. He isn't really a main part of the team. There is Paul Revere, who, again, there's all the characters aren't that fleshed out really, other than Washington. And when you're building this type of team for an epic third act, I wasn't really a huge fan of not all the characters having mini arcs to them. They were just kind of there to help out Washington, which at times, and also I think they needed to build up a little more of the relationship between Washington and Lincoln before the big event happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie. It just felt, the first, I would say, half of the movie feels really rushed. I mean, really rushed. It feels like we need to go meet this person, meet this person, meet this person, meet this person, without even taking a deep breath. And I feel like the movie was so rushed in the first half. Now, once they get into the plot, everyone's really recruited on Washington's team. Then they're going after the British. That's when the movie really settles into being a very good movie. But the first half of the movie is while you're having fun and laughing, it feels so rushed. You're not really feeling a story is happening. You just feel like we're just recruiting people. And that's where the movie definitely falls there. But overall, guys, I really did have a fun time watching this movie, a fun enough time. It's not a great movie. I know a lot of people who are going to love this movie and a lot of people who are going to hate this movie. Again, comedy is subjective, but this type of comedy, this type of parody, I know some people think might be offensive on some of the things that the characters say in the film. That's just what it is. So I'm going to give America the Motion Picture, guys, a 3 out of 5 stars, a 63%. I really did have a fun time with the movie. I know it will be controversial if I like the movie or not. Let me know in the comment section down below. But is this one of Netflix's best animated films? Definitely not. Again, Mitchells vs. Machines for me is top tier animated for the past couple of years, and it's my #2 movie of the year. But still, Netflix cannot miss, in my opinion, with these animated movies. So please consider subscribing, ringing the bell for more movie reviews. Busy weekend, guys. Bad Batch reviews coming out, Forever Purge review, The Tomorrow War, all these reviews are all coming out this weekend, box office on Monday. So stay tuned. So ring the bell to be notified. Want to see more Netflix reviews and movie reviews in general? Click that playlist right above, and I'll see you soon.